Yeah. Come on. They labeled me not able, but I'm able to turn the table. Yes, I'm able to freak this rack. Still, they labeled me as whack. In fact, they claim they know my plight. My story differs just a slight smidget. I'm not interested in gadget. I just bust rhymes for my father. Though you told me not to bother. The audience is limited. You said instead I should kick full guarantees to reach the masses with these earthly lyrics, please. I see the chronics, that's that title, but it is not vital for me to have at my recital because I've been writing for God since 1982. You've been writing about us like this since only hip hop became cool. Who really plays the fool in the game of Russian roulette? It's those who choose to play in this gamble for your soul, where you end up in stuck on you're in a no-win situation.
And Joe the Shirt is off
the souls of the losses. I forget about
the cuff.
Forget about arguments,
Welcome. Oh my God, look at this. What is it? 3 shows this week? My God. I am off the hook. Fuck the cuff. Look at me. Welcome back, everybody. It has been a fun week. It has been an annoying week. And if you're my girlfriend, then it's been a very, very hectic, manic week. It's been out there. It really has. I want to thank everybody first and foremost for all your birthday greetings to me, all the happy birthdays I got. Thank you very much. I appreciate it from everybody. I had a very nice birthday. Girlfriend and I, we hung out. We both took the day off from work. We went and had a birthday brunch from my buddy Wesley Avila's Gorilla Tacos, which was ridiculously good. It was just so good. I mean, look at my post on Facebook about that. I list like everything that we had, and it was just flavor explosions. You know, blue marlin. There was octopus. There was bacon. And all in taco and tostada form, which was incredible. This guy really knows his shit. So, you know, if you ever get a chance, you're here in Los Angeles, Gorilla Tacos. Look him up. Go there, say hi. Tell him Joe sent you. All right? We also spent some quality pool time that day. We hung out. We just chilled. And it was just such a nice day. It was such a nice day for her and I that come Thursday, I felt it was Monday because it felt like a relaxing Sunday. You know, just very, very chill. Got some very cool presents from my lady. All with a basic theme. Robin Williams being the main theme. She got me several of his movies and a CD of his performance, A Night at the Met. Originally known as An Evening at the Met, but it's now The Night at the Met. And of course, that being a much bigger deal than usual because, you know, he recently died. Let's see what else. She also got me a DVD of my favorite movie action star, Godzilla. Loved Godzilla ever since I was a kid. He's the reason my favorite number is the number 4. Because in the original version of the movie, it was mentioned that he was 400 feet tall. Now, nobody should have their favorite number as the number 400. So I went with 4. And that was really it. It's that simple. And there's something else coming for me. I'm not sure what, but there's something else coming. I don't know if it's a part of the theme or a departure from it. But we'll see. Anyway, but I had a nice time, and much thanks to the Russian for making my day very, very nice. Okay, that was September the 10th. Then, of course, we had September 11th, which everybody knows all about by now. Not going to talk about it very much today just because I have other things I want to catch up on, you know, but what can I tell you? It was an American tragedy, and I know not all of my listeners agree with that. There are some folks out there that really do believe that the United States is just as evil as anybody else out there, and that's fine. That's fine. But speaking as an American, and while I'm not a patriot or a nationalist, I still, you know, when the shit comes down, I still got to side with my country. And that's all there is to it. And then, of course, we had September 12th, the third tragedy in this particular set of events, the anniversary of my wedding. It's when me and my ex-wife got married. So 3 tragedies in a row. My birthday, September 11th, my wedding. September is just chock full of memories for me. Oh my God. That's enough of that. We are talking today about sports, because not in the traditional sense, but what's going on around sports. It's gotten nutty out there. It really has. What's going on is that nobody's concentrating on sports. They're concentrating on what the athletes are doing outside of sports, or what the owners are doing, and so much of it's got nothing to do with sports, and so much of it has got a zillion things to do with sports. We're talking about Ray Rice. Now, if you're not familiar with Ray Rice by now, let me fill you in. Ray Rice is a football player. I don't even know what fucking team he plays for. You know what? Let me see. I think I have that here, though. Hold on. I think I have that here. Let's see. Ray Rice here. Can't even tell what team he plays for. You know, it looks. It looks like he plays for the Ravens. Actually, okay. If you haven't heard about this, he punched out his fiance. And then when I say punched out, I'm not just saying, like, you know, he hit her, he threw her against the wall. And I'm talking, he like brought his shoulder and arm back and cold cocked her ass in an elevator in a casino. Now, if you're going to hit somebody, a casino elevator is not the way to go. Casinos tend to have cameras everywhere. And Ray Rice is a big man, all right? And I saw the video, and his fiance was a little itty-bitty strip of a thing. And in the video, they were having a fight, and she was getting in his face, and she was, I think at some point, she actually physically assaulted him. Not that that's an excuse now. But then he just reached back and just knocked her ass out. And then attempted to drag her body out of the elevator into the hallway and get to their room and conceal what had happened. Like, you know, casino cameras are not going to pick up this gigantic dude knocking this chick out and then dragging her to a room. It's like, they're going to investigate that, I think. Now, like I said, I'm not a big fan of men hitting women. I don't appreciate that in any way, shape, or form. You know, being raised mostly by women and having 5 little sisters, no brothers, and almost all my cousins are female, you know, I don't cotton to the idea of men hitting women. That being said, I don't cotton to the idea of women hitting men either. Okay, Whoopi Goldberg said it recently. She said that when a woman hits a man, she's just giving him permission to hit her back. Okay, and I agree with that. If a woman hits me, odds are I'm going to hit her back. I don't play that game. Now, I try not to, if a woman hits me, I try not to hit her the way I would hit a man. All right? Because one thing I've always believed is that it doesn't take a big man to whoop a big woman's ass. Really doesn't. Most women cannot take a punch all that hard, especially a real punch. They can take slaps across the face a lot. They can take, you know, arm twisting, and they can take, you know, all types of physical abuse. But the average woman cannot take a man punching her dead in the face. That doesn't happen too often. Like I said, but if a woman hits me, then in my opinion, you know, if she's attacking me, I'm going to defend myself. More often than not, I'm not overly worried that she's going to actually really do me any injury, but I want her to know that this is unacceptable. You don't hit me. Just like I don't hit you, you don't hit me. Now, the NFL has come under fire for this because originally, when they'd heard about the domestic abuse, they served him a 2-game suspension. Or I believe his team did. Now, after the video came out, he's apparently going to be banned for life. Now, I have a question here. Does he deserve to be banned for life for something he did in the past? Okay? Yeah, he hit her. He knocked her ass out. It was a brutal hit. I'll tell you that right now. But that at the time, she was his fiancée. She married the motherfucker after that. Okay? She not only decided to stay, she decided to marry his ass. Now, if there's anybody out there that's a hardcore feminist, part of some women's rights groups, you're not going to like what I got to say next. But she stayed there for the paycheck, is my opinion. I mean, she may love him, okay? Lots of women are in love with men that physically abuse them on a regular basis. It happens. But there's a part of me here that wants to believe, that needs to believe, actually, that she stayed around because she knew that he's going to be worth a lot of money. And someday, you know, she's going to be living the life. And even if they get divorced, she'll be living the life after that. Okay? That doesn't excuse him from hitting her. It's wrong. I don't think men should hit women. I really don't. But I do have to question her motives here. I really do. I mean, I've been in relationships with women for quite some time now. And my advice to any woman I've ever been with has always been, if I ever get to the point where I'm hitting you, you really should leave. You should dump me. You should call the cops. You should, don't let me become a monster, But but that's one of the I think that one of the main reasons that the human species still exists is because women are just so forgiving. They are so patient with us, and it's one of their greatest strengths and one of their greatest downfalls. The NFL is going through a lot of shit right now, and my question really to the NFL is to people at large is, do we really need to punish him outside of the law for what he does outside of football? Does he deserve to be punished in his in the way he earns his living? All right, because let's face facts. I mean, there are plenty of guys out there that beat their wives that still go to work and work as lawyers. They still go to work. They work as businessmen. They work as as CPAs. They work as fish gutters, whatever the fuck it is you do. But they physically abuse their wives, and nobody goes around saying, "Hey, I heard you beat your wife. You're fired. Now get out of the toy factory." It doesn't happen all that often. But because these are public figures, and the NFL and other sports franchise, teams, they bow to public opinion. And a lot of the times, and now the NFL is trying to enact very harsh rules. Probably the strongest stance of any sports group out there is that even if you are accused of physically abusing somebody, you are suspended without any proof, without a trial, without a conviction. Boom, you're done. You're out. Same rule they're adopting for if you get arrested for DUI, not convicted, you get arrested. You also for same deal for if they discover a certain percentage of marijuana in your blood, in your system. We're suspending you. You're out of the game for a while. And mind you, the NFL has much more stringent marijuana rules than the Olympic Committee does. Actually, about 10 times worse or more stringent than the Olympic Committee does. The Olympic Committee, they will, if you want to smoke a little weed, you go ahead. Just make sure you test under this amount day of the race. That's all there is to it. But with the NFL, I mean, the amount that they're talking about, if somebody's smoking weed around you, and then they test you, you can be suspended for a game without pay. We got a lot more to talk about, believe you me, but we need to take a break. Today's music, first song, was brought to you by Max One and his song Dead Man's Bones. But we're going to go a different way with the next song. This is Marina V, You Make Me Beautiful. I'm Joe Shirt. I'm Off the Cuff, and I'll be right back.
I can't help hearing the lies. I can't help letting them inside. These words have gotten me loud and got me high. You stand and
Show the shirts. Off the Cuff. Oh, my apologies there for the dead air. I did not realize that the music had not started when I got up to go to the bathroom there. My apologies. Okay, we are talking about the NFL here. We got so much crap going on here. Here we go. Hold on. Now the whole Ray Rice incident is coming just a little bit after the Ray McDonald incident. When it was found out he was physically abusing his wife as well. The NFL, in response to this, is toughening up their rules. Let's see, what did they come up with here? Let's see. Let's see. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announced a first offense will draw a 6-game penalty and at least a year for a second. So if it's found out that you're beating your wife, you're suspended for 6 games. If it's found out that you did it a second time, you're out for the season. Many critics of these new bans have come out and said that this is actually going to be bad for women because it's going to inspire women to not report cases of domestic abuse. Because then if he gets suspended, he's not bringing home a paycheck. When you get suspended, that is suspended without pay in the NFL. And 6 games in a 16-game season is a big chunk of cash. Okay, and then you get beaten up you found out you beat up your wife a second time. You're suspended for the year. That's a year of no fucking money. And I got to tell you, sports figures are not known for saving their money. So there's a really good chance that even if they're coming in with $10 million a year, they didn't save much from the year before. So. And I believe that this is quite possible. I think it's very possible that women of sports athletes will not report what's going on if they think that their husband is going to lose their job. You know what? They may want them to be punished. Maybe spend a few nights in jail, learn their lesson, maybe go through some sort of rehab process. What's that? Counseling. There you go. Couples counseling, personal counseling, therapy, whatever it takes, But one thing that a woman that wants to stay with her husband despite a hard time going on. She wants him to make a living. And that's a tough one to let go of right there. Now we're shifting over to the NBA. Believe it or not, more NBA owners saying they wish they had less blacks at the basketball game because Donald Sterling wasn't enough. Okay. Apparently the Atlanta Hawks think they have too many blacks at their games. Now, to be fair to them, and I believe in fairness, they weren't saying that there were too many blacks. They were saying that there weren't enough whites, and this was coming from a business decision way of looking at it, because black fans in general do not buy those pricey season tickets. They don't. They buy the occasional ticket here and there. White fans tend to buy season tickets more often because they want the good seats, they want the VIP service, and they can afford it. Not saying that there aren't blacks out there that can't afford these things, but more often than not, no, they can't. That's not racist. That's just practical. And by the way, they didn't. Like I said, they didn't say that there were too many blacks. They said that there just weren't enough white. They wanted to attract more white people to their games. Now, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has actually come out in defense of the Atlanta Hawks on this issue, and I have a quote from him here. Oh, this is good stuff here. Let's see. On Monday, NBA Hall of Famer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote an opinion piece for Time.com that the Hawks owner, quote, is a businessman asking reasonable questions about how to put customers in seats. If his arena was filled mostly with whites and he wanted to attract blacks, wouldn't he be asking how they could de-emphasize white culture and bias toward white contestants and cheerleaders? Don't you think every corporation in America that is trying to attract a more diverse customer base is discussing how to feature more blacks or Asians or Latinos in their TV ads? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, folks, that's what the man had to say about that. He didn't think that it was racist. He thought that it was a business decision. They're trying to put seats in, butts in the seats. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make money. You guys got to remember that no matter how much you love baseball or football or basketball or soccer, whoever the fuck you guys are, or hockey, they're all businesses. They are in the business of making money. They're not in the business of providing high quality games and athletes to you. They're in the business of making money. Business of getting you to come to the arenas, go to the stadiums, and sell you $10 hot dogs and $14 beers. That's the business, all right? They're in the business of selling Coke and Pepsi and Taco Bell and KFC to you when you watch the games on TV. They're making money. Now, that being said, I don't believe that there's outright racism should be allowed, but any business is going to adopt a business model that makes them the most money, or at least what they think will make them the most money. Now, I do happen to have some of the quotes from the owner of the Atlanta Hawks. Ahem. Now, this is the quote you've heard, okay? In reference to Luong Deng, Danny Ferry, general manager, said that Luong Deng had, quote, some African in him, end quote. And that was taken badly. But, okay, this is a 2-year-old email. But here's the full quote. Quote, he's still a young guy. He's a good guy overall, but he's not perfect. He's got some African in him, and I don't say that in a bad way. Now, the question being, of course, how do you say he's got some African in him and have people not believe that you're saying it in a bad way? I don't know. Maybe he's a homosexual with a thing for black guys. Who knows? Maybe he's like, hey, he's got some African in him. I want to suck his cock. Who knows? Probably not. That's my girlfriend. She's got a little bit of a cough lately. And sorry, guys, for the background noise, but we're having a heat wave. Having a heat wave. Not tropical heat wave. It's dry as shit out here in Los Angeles. I think the weather today said it would be like 92 degrees. It's supposed to be like 97 tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. And, well, we're just going to be roasting our chestnuts over an open fire over the next couple of days. Now, here's the thing that's bugging me about this. Donald Sterling was reprimanded and punished for his comments about how he didn't want blacks at his basketball game. More specifically now, he didn't want his girlfriend bringing blacks to his basketball game. He didn't say he didn't want blacks at all. He just didn't want his girlfriend bringing them, which is racist. But the incident that we're talking about here with the Atlanta Hawks, the emails and the discussions they had happened 2 years ago. So why is this coming up now? To me, this sounds more of an internal political move. Some people, I'm thinking, wanted to get rid of these guys, get them ousted, and then take control of the team or sell the team, which is now up for sale. Current value of the Atlanta Hawks, $425 million. And it was reported by one of the guys that was at one of these meetings. And my question is, why didn't you report this 2 years ago? You find it offensive? You find it ugly? You find it wrong and racist? Why did you wait 2 years before you brought it out? And yes, I do believe that there is a culture of racism everywhere. Everywhere. It's one of the uglier truths that I have to admit to when I'm talking to my friend Craig the Rye Tie, Mai Tai. He'll be the first one to tell you that everybody has racist thoughts. And you know what? I have to agree with him. You know what? You may not agree with me. You may not want to believe it. But it's out there. People make assumptions, comments based on the color of your skin or where it is you came from. They do. I do. I'm not proud of that fact, but I realize that I've done it in my life and continue to do it to this day. And I'm only human, which is a sad thing. Now, here, hold on here. I have a little bit more I want to read to you. Let's see. Levinson wrote in an August 2012 email sent to Ferry and other team co-owners that he noticed crowds at home games were 70% black, the cheerleaders were black, and the music was hip-hop. He also wrote that he wanted more white cheerleaders and music to be played inside Phillips Arena that was familiar to a 40-year-old white male that represents the target season ticket demographic. He also went on to say that he didn't want white music. He wanted music that anybody could relate to. And he never said he wanted white-only music. He didn't say, I want you to play country and western. No, he didn't say that. But he wanted musical diversity. All of his cheerleaders are black. He wanted white cheerleaders. That's not unreasonable, in my opinion. Unless, of course, you're playing a game in Africa. Then pretty much every cheerleader's going to be black. I mean, that's probably going to happen. Oh, my God. I always have too much fun with these. It is now time for yet another break, and we are going to break with another song from Max One. And here's his song, Well Rounder. Let's hope that plays this time. Can I get some text in here? Motherfucker! Anyway, I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
Yo, this is Max One. All up in your keister. I rip through rappers rapidly, respectfully and tactfully. Actually, I'm actively attracted to these MCs that are counteracting me so drastically that I've had to pass on all of these activities and festivities to find the time to focus all of my energy on the enemy. Separate spirit me from the enemy. Flip a parody with a simile. Hold it down in my vicinity. And beyond, we be on some we be bomb type phenom. Spit like Freon. See, I'm just another peon with a purpose. Earth is the rock I sleep on. Missy told me to get my freak on. Your grams don't speak on. Attract all y'all like a pecan. Up in here to do some recon. Changing things like we were seasons. This is Maximus. Onesimus. Provocatively rocking. Going up in octave. Attractive, I stay active. Pass me the mic and I'm gonna smash it. Just a goodwill gesture from the gesture known as Max. I'm live and direct, so high tech. I travel via fax. Take up your mix quick. Hit after hit, I spit. You gotta get it. Got it good. If you don't know the baby brothers and their beats, you should. Bringing Max One to your neck of the woods. Chopping out the numbers and chopping down the forest and selling off.
Joe the Shirt is off the cuff. Welcome back. Oh, boy. Always have way too much fun with these shows. I really do. In Florida, the nation's number 2 cigarette maker vowed to fight a jury verdict of $23.6 billion in punitive damages in a lawsuit filed by the widow of a longtime smoker who died of lung cancer. R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company executive Jerry Ratcliffe, issued the statement. Why are we still suing tobacco companies? We all know smoking is bad for you. We know that. My girlfriend's a smoker. Baby, do you know smoking is bad for you? Yes, she knows smoking is bad for you. I know smoking is bad for you. You all know smoking is bad for you. And then you go out and do it. Before, as a child, you're told by your parents, who could be smokers, smoking is bad for you, don't do it. You're told by commercials on TV, smoking is bad for you, don't do it. You're told by your friends, your family members, you're told by everybody, smoking is bad for you. Your doctors. And then you go smoke. And then you become addicted. And then you get lung cancer and emphysema. And, well, you know what? We told you. They told you. They told you it was bad for you. You know what? Back in the 50s and 60s, when they had allegedly doctors telling you that smoking is good for you because of this, that, the other thing, or they would tell you it's not harmful to you, it's not a problem, it's not an issue. Okay, you know what? They were lying to you. Yes, fine. But even then, you should have known smoking was bad for you. I've always cited this example. Growing up in the Bronx in New York, we had some pretty harsh winters. And a lot of times, me and my friends, we would start a fire in a trash can to stay warm. And when the wind changed and the smoke blew in our faces, you know what we did? We moved to the other side. Because the smoke was choking us to death. We knew smoking was bad for us. And so does CVS. A month ahead of time, CVS no longer sells cigarettes. They had planned to do this in October 2nd, and they went off and did it September 2nd instead. They said, you know what, fuck it, we're going to go wild, buck crazy, and say we're not going to sell cigarettes anymore. Because as a company that promotes health, it would be morally irresponsible of us to sell cigarettes. But Funyuns are okay. Devil Dogs are okay. Twinkies are okay. And by the way, Bacardi is okay. Sauza is okay. Smirnoff is okay. Mad Dog 2020 is okay. Actually, I don't think they sell Mad Dog 2020, but Budweiser's definitely okay. That's health food right there. It's okay to sell those things. According to financial analysts, this move will cost CVS pharmacies $2 billion a year in sales. Now, if I was an investor in CVS, I'd be a little pissed off right now. It's like, wait, your company's going to lose $2 billion a year. Really? Seriously, you want me to invest some more? Fuck you. Now, going the other way is actually Walgreens. Now, Walgreens has faced criticism from health and advocacy groups regarding its policy of selling tobacco products. But it's going to continue to do so. There's a quote here from Walgreens. Quote, "We believe that if the goal is to truly reduce tobacco use in America, then the most effective thing retail pharmacies can do is address the root causes and help smokers quit. A retail pharmacy ban on tobacco sales would have little to no significant impact on actually reducing the use of tobacco." Now, that's a two-faced comment if I ever heard one. You know what? I think they're right. 18% of Americans smoke. At least that's the figure we have. I think that the number is actually higher because a lot of Americans don't admit that they do things that we all know they're doing. With Walgreens, I do believe that, you know what, saying that, we need to address this, we need to do that, and I'm like, well, you know what, there are a few people out there that if they can't get cigarettes at Walgreens or CVS and need to go to 7-Eleven or their local liquor store to buy cigarettes and pay the higher prices, they might consider stopping smoking, but that's a very small few. Okay, the term is addict. They're addicted. They're gonna get the cigarettes. Okay, prisoners in prison risk a month or more in solitary confinement just to get them. All right, so don't give me this bullshit that just because you stop selling something, it's going to stop the demand for that thing. Let's talk a little more consumer advocacy. How about that? If you've ever taken a flight anywhere, you've probably noticed that the seats tend to be a little uncomfortable. They tend to be thin, there's no leg room, and the backrest doesn't lean back all that much, and you're stuck that way for hours at a time. If you're making a long trip, you're stuck that way for almost a day. If you're traveling from New York to New Zealand, that's like a 19-hour trip, man. Fuck you. And that's pretty much what you're saying to yourself is fuck me. Okay, but now the airlines are trying to make as much money as possible, and they are. Airlines are showing profits for the first time in over a decade or two. And the way they're doing this is by packing as many customers as they can into flights. They are at a record high of 81% capacity on flights, domestic and foreign. So you remember the good old days when you could get like a whole row to yourself? That's gone. These days you're lucky if you have one seat, in between you and the guy next to you. But they are constantly trying to make more money by packing more flyers into their planes. And what has that caused? Well, let's see. Delta Flight 2370. We're talking here about Amy Fine. Now, Amy Fine is a traveler, normal human being. The passenger in front of her wanted to relax with some knitting, so she reclined her seat, which is what we all do, isn't it? You get on a plane, you want to relax, you recline your seat. It takes some pressure off your back. She reclined her seat, smacking Fine's head and sparking an emotional explosion. Apparently, Fine decided she wanted to take a nap, so she took the tray, the food tray, out, put it down, and rested her head on the tray to take a nap. I've never seen this. Ever. But then the person in front of her reclined their chair and basically squished Amy's head between the chair and the tray. Amy started screaming and yelling and cursing at the other passenger and then at the crew, and then they had to make a stop before before the end of their flight. She was taken away in handcuffs. Now, to combat this, there's a product known as the Knee Defender. Now, what this is, it's a device which straddles the tray table arms and stops the seat in front of you from reclining. Now, I know it's difficult if you happen to be 6'2", and you don't have a lot of money, so you have to sit in economy class. But, and I understand that it's wrong if the person in front of you leans back and they're crushing your knees. But that doesn't give you the right to attach any device on an airplane. By the way, airplanes are federally regulated, so when you do something on a plane, you're facing federal charges. So this whole knee protector thing, you're committing a federal crime when you interfere with any equipment on a plane. Yes, including the seat and the tray in front of you. This happened as well. Let's see. At 6'2", Alex Gerwer says he can't control being this tall. Occasionally, I will ask people not to recline. I will say, you can't go back any further. You're on top of my knees. The airline industry, according to this, makes no apologies. Travelers who want more room can simply pay for roomier seats. Planes are more full, a reflection of the fact that flying remains affordable. Fuller flights, in turn, help keep flying more affordable. Wow, that's quite a redundant quote. Oh my God! It's and you want to know how far the airlines are squeezing you guys in? All right, here's an example for you, and this is the stingiest of all of them. Florida-based Spirit Airlines, industry leader in sardine-like cabins, stuffs 178 seats on an Airbus 320. 178. By comparison, United Airlines only puts 138 seats in the same plane. So yeah, if you get the impression that the airlines don't give a flying fuck about you, it's because they don't. And finally, let's talk about Afghanistan a little bit. In Afghanistan, 7 men got the death penalty after raping a group of women and robbing them and their male companions. Because in Afghanistan, like most Islamic countries, you as a woman, you're required to travel with a male relative as a companion, even if that male relative happens to be like 6. Okay. Now, what's really interesting about this is they got the death penalty, but it wasn't for rape. No. They were convicted for the assault and battery, kidnapping, and for the embarrassment they caused the men of the women's group. Rape in Afghanistan only became a crime in 2009. And is for the most part not reported, and if it is reported, is handled internally by locals. They don't go to the police, and more often than not, it's handled in a way that is less than satisfying for the victim. In one example I'm giving you here, a teacher of a 10-year-old girl raped her, and in order to make amends, he offered to marry her because she did something that caused him to want to rape her. It was her fault. And you're wondering, well, why? How does this happen? Well, because nobody wants to criminalize rape, because then that means they couldn't do it. In some Islamic countries, if you report a rape as a woman, you have to have 5 male witnesses to the crime. Now, if you have 5 male witnesses to you being raped, aren't the odds that they were participating? And unfortunately, that is actually my time. I'm out. I'm done. I have no more time. But thank you for listening. Here's our last bit of music by Marina V. You Make Me Beautiful. I'm Joe the Shirt, and I've been off the cup. Actually, no, wait, wrong song. Let me fix it. Let me see if I can fix it. Hold on. Oh, no. Oh, damn it. It won't play. Oh, wait, there it is. I'm going to play it. See what you can get out of it. Later.
Что стоишь, качая